everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Leadoff. Lionel here, aka Shark, with
Randy. So what are we doing?
Hey, y'all. I got a few things I need to get off my chest. So I'm going to start off right in the fire. I'm going to start off with Hulk Hogan. I'm not sure if you guys know, a while back, Hulk Hogan said some things in the privacy of his home. Everything got crazy, blew out of proportion, whatever. He got fired from the WWE, suspended, whatever, and he also got taken out of the Hall of Fame. Well, it's been some 4, 5, 6 years now since that happened, and I guess they just recently reinstated him back into the Hall of Fame. Now, some of the black wrestlers in the WWE kind of took offense to that. One of the more popular groups, the New Day, it consists of 3 people. I don't know if you know: Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. Well, the eldest member in that group, Kofi Kingston, basically wrote a letter, and in his letter, I agree with what he said. He said, basically, I'm gonna put it like this. He basically said, you can work with somebody, but you don't have to respect them. You know, you can be cool with them. You know, you'll work with them, you'll do a match with them, but you don't have to respect that individual. Sure, of course he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. It's Hulk Hogan. Without him, this business doesn't go. All the stuff that he's done, he does deserve to be there. However, you don't have to respect him as a person. But now my issue with that is, and here's the problem, here's where everybody's probably going to flip out a little bit. If you're able to bring Hulk Hogan back based off just what he's done with the business, and not what he's got in trouble for outside, could you not do the same for Chris Benoit? What do you think? Good? Randy?
Well, no, they won't do it.
Of course not.
I don't think they'll do it. I think they should, and based on your theory.
I don't think you should be scrubbed
No.
from history, like with the whole steroid abuse in Major League Baseball. When they would come out and they wouldn't put these guys in the Hall of Fame and like Canseco and all this, and it's like, well, these games count, and I want them to count in the history books. Now you can put an asterisk by it and say, due to the fact that it was on steroids, blah blah blah. But I want these games to count because I spent money.
Yes.
To sit in the crowd and watch these games. These games meant something to me at the time.
Yes, you were there. You lived it.
So I don't want that scrubbed from history.
Yes.
It happened. These matches that these guys wrestled, they happened. Benoit, I mean, you know, he sold pay-per-views for him. He sold merchandise. They sold shirts from him. He does exist. I mean, you can put the quote, well, he was kind of an asshole. He did, you know, hang that big-headed kid from a Bowflex.
I wanted to bring my partner in really quick because Lionel just brought up a point. I was watching. You're watching, and so they asked the question about Chris Benoit. Should Chris Benoit be in the Hall of Fame? And I said yes, based on his performance. What is your opinion?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, he's considered one of the best of all time, and they should acknowledge that, despite of what he did. I mean, it's been 14 years, and I think that's time enough to swipe that away from the past. And
see, now I'm happy.
Well, it's for achievement in the ring.
Yeah.
It's not for, you know, that he was. We're not giving him the greatest guy in the WWE.
No, we're not giving him the best
talking about
award, you know?
his skills.
Yeah.
However, on that front too,
Ty Cobb's a piece of shit. If you want to go down through history and you want to look at Ty Cobb, I mean, he claimed to kill the guy. He was racist as all shit. I mean, watch Ty Cobb.
Oh, okay. How about that? What'd you say?
I mean, he would slide in spikes up. I mean, and there was stories of him killing a guy. And that Tommy Lee, you want to watch a racist movie? You watch that Cobb movie. It's hilarious. Yeah. It is hilarious. But Tommy Lee Jones is Ty Cobb. I mean, Ty Cobb was a piece of work, man.
Yeah. See, here's my thing. I like to play both sides. Now I'm going to go to the flip side. However, you cannot tell other people how they should feel about a situation. So people are not going to like that. And I'm just speaking from if I was on the other side of the ass thing. Now I'm going to go back to Hulk Hogan. Now me, you know, black dude or whatever, like I said, if I was there and I was working with WWE, sure, I would do a program on television with Hulk Hogan. But if he walked up to me and approached me and he wanted to shake my hand, I'm not shaking your hand because I don't trust you.
Okay.
All right, I'm just saying.
Now let's do it this way.
Yes.
There's a difference in the person in the ring, and you're saying about playing both sides and all that, right? There's a difference of the guy in the ring and the guy outside of the ring and all that. Just as as you being an actor. Leonardo DiCaprio in Django said more N-words than anybody ever heard. You know, so you can reverse that, and you guys can work together. But that ain't cool, you know. But that was part of the acting job.
That's part of his job. That's why I'm
you can work with. I
can be cool. I'll go hang out with him
and
drink some beer with him afterwards.
I mean, it's playing both ways. Like, well, I'd always said too, is this like because my wife, I'm in a mixed marriage. My wife's Mexican.
Yeah.
And so my kids are half, and I've always like, if somebody has a problem with it, I'd rather know.
Exactly.
I'm tired of this, like, we all have to be hidden and, you know, I'd rather know so I don't invite you to Thanksgiving dinner.
True. True.
We can work together. You know, we can work together. We can, you know, that's fine. But I know then that's as far as it's going to go. It's strictly professional relationship, and that's it, you know. So I don't see the point of hiding, like, it's just pointless.
True. And now that you're saying that, saying there's no point in hiding it.
I guess I can't invite you next.
You're true. I think the WWE is going to take that next step and fully bring him back. Should he go out there and make a public apology, or should he just flat out go out and just?
I think he already has.
I mean, in the middle of that ring, in front of everybody.
I mean, they'll probably have him cut. They'll probably have him cut. You know, some kind of promo or something. Not promo as in like a wrestling, not a Ric Flair promo, but I'm talking like some kind of, you know, like some United Way commercial. Yeah. You know. You know what I hate though is I hate when they go the other way. Like when Imus got busted a few years ago for the nappy-headed host thing.
Oh yes.
Put Sharpton in the studio with them, and
then they started putting black.
Then they had to put a black person on his staff. And
yes. And that's
too much the other way is bullshit too. Like I don't want, you know.
Because now you're trying to force feed it. You're trying to force.
Hey, did you guys get that Papa John's order? Is pizza gonna be in?
Damn.
I'm hungry.
It's coming soon.
I think there might be one in another hour.
You know, I mean, I don't.
All right, I mean,
race relations is like it's down to me at this point. It's almost down to Trump and Russia and Trump and the government anyway. It's abortion. It's abortion, religion.
That's the big three.
And race now.
Yeah, that's the big four. That's the big four. You can't. You get those four involved in, there's always going to be some shit.
And those are all things that if we could get over.
Oh yeah.
And I don't mean get over as in they don't exist.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Get beyond them so you can have conversations, and because you know what, we're still gonna have a lot more in common than we are different. And it's just fucking ridiculous at this point.
So let me throw a little fly in this ointment.
Go for it.
What if one of his excuses was, well, this is how I was raised, this is how I spoke when I grew up, and I don't know any different, and blah, blah, blah.
I'm happy you said that because, I was having a conversation with one of my buddies, Mo. He's from a different place around here. But anyway, somebody went in there in that comment section, whatever, and they used the term colored. Now, I guess when some people grow up, they just said colored. They don't mean it in a racist way.
Depending on age.
Depending on the age. But to me, I think that's racist. I'm sorry. Now, but I can understand what they mean. Like, if you've just been saying that and you didn't mean it in a racial way, I can understand it. But
I don't think there's a racist word. I don't think there's a racist word. It's context.
In context. To me, it depends on what it is. And how they say it.
That's context.
And the way he said it, it came across as, you know what, that's, you kind of walking that line. But,
now, you colored, get off my lawn.
Yeah, man. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah, but if you're just like the color.
I mean, maybe you just put some new seed down.
The reason I bring it up is because my great aunt, we went and visited her one day, and the guy who delivered her paper was. And I will say he was an African American gentleman, and he came in, and she's the sweetest. She was in like almost 90.
Oh, yeah.
And we're sitting there, and we're talking, and the guy leaves, and she turns to us, and she goes, I just love my delivery. He is the sweetest colored boy I'd ever met.
See, now,
and I looked at my mom. And I looked at my mom. Now, this was in Michigan. This is not in California. Mm-hmm. And I looked at my mom like, what the hell did she do? Yeah. And my mom was like, she's old.
Yeah.
Just leave it be. And I went, okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, like that, there's some people who shop in my store who will say, the colored boy. I'm like, you see? Now, I'm like, really? Come on, man. I'm like, what? Come on, man. And to make it funnier, I'll probably be like putting out some watermelons or something. And then, can you come help me pick a watermelon?
That is still the funniest thing.
I'm like, come on, man. Like,
we used to work together in produce.
Yeah.
And they would walk right past me to ask Lionel to pick a watermelon.
Yes. For real. No, that's not even a joke.
And I would be sitting there laughing my ass off. They'd walk right by me. And they'd be like, can you help me pick a watermelon? Yep. And I would just be dying in the corner.
Every time.
And he'd look back and just shaking his head.
Yep. Every time.
Well, then I'm not going to tell that. But that one guy, the dude I told you about what his comment was about what watermelons were?
What? Oh, yes. Oh, we ain't gonna go that far.
Oh man,
we gonna say save that one.
That's for the pay show.
Yeah, that's for a different show. Sorry, y'all. We're gonna have to hold that context on that one.
But we've got you'd think the sensitivity, though, to a degree, is gotten crazy.
Yeah.
But it's also deserved at times. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, true. But you see, you know,
I've heard tell of shows that may have even been on this network where they were saying they didn't understand what Papa John was in trouble for.
Well, I know exactly what he was in trouble
for.
And
I think there's more to that story too. I think we're finding out too that Papa John might have been a dirty bird too. Because I was reading a story today that everybody around that guy since like 2003 has had to sign non-disclosure agreements, basically.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, so he'd been saying some.
Well, that or there's him being married, and he was out there was report to him about screwing around and everything like that. But like with the Papa John thing, I'm telling you, look, he's been the dirty guy. But if you also look though, is he went that double back is what got him in trouble. I'm telling you, because he got so goddamn confident. Because I'm telling you, he's drunk. I'm just telling you, that's a drunk thing. But he got so confident that he had to double back on it. He could have got away with the Colonel Sanders one.
Yeah.
But then when he went, well, where I'm from, it's a Dragon Punch.
Yeah.
All right.
To go back and say it again.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you messed up at. And a lot of people, they'll get scared when they hit that. They'll hit that wall. And I know they said something like, "Oh shit." So, like you said, they'll do it back. And
you imagine the look on everybody's face in that teleconference.
Of course, come on. They're probably like, really? But he probably felt that he had the power and authority to say whatever he wanted to say, and so he just went for it. And then
they said that this guy, like I was reading this article. Of course, these articles come out after, it was like by Forbes or whatever I was reading this morning. They come out after, But they said they'd been doing like this interview on him, and like this guy's head had just gotten like, he replaced everybody, like that it was a private company, like a public company. I mean, where they were open to stock investors, but basically he privatized it to a degree because it was all the CEOs and everybody around him were all his boys, and it was just a good old boys club. Slap ass.
So it was basically all his people.
Yeah.
So then how did it come out? Because there must have been somebody.
No, that was a third party. That were on the phone with, because they were like they were on a phone with like a crisis. I think it was basically, if we have another scandal, what do you do in this situation? And then he went, well, Colonel Sanders said, and to tell you the truth, I did get some messages about me saying that word on the podcast last week, actually saying the word itself.
Really?
Yeah.
You was talking about,
quoting.
Okay, no. Let me say this. People, listen. Shark here, looking directly at you. My buddy Randy here, okay? If you're speaking in context about something that somebody else said, it is not your words, okay? What Hulk Hogan said, that was his words. He fucked up. Those were his direct words. Now, if Randy here said that Hulk Hogan said nigger in context of a certain word, that's Randy quoting somebody else. Don't take that out of context. Come on, man. This is hearing comprehension here. Do not take that out of line. All right, that happens so much times, whether in comments or just listening where people will take something out of context. He's saying what somebody else said. So it doesn't matter. If you're going to say it, you're going to say it the right way. You don't want to give false information. And that's what Randy was doing. He was telling you exactly what the guy said. So don't take that out of context.
Well, I hate when the news, when they're reporting and they go,
Yahoo,
who's in trouble for saying the N-word. No, they didn't say the N-word.
Yes.
If you're going to report it,
report it right.
You know, like when your mom would give you that pass to say the cuss word or whatever that was in the joke or that was part of the story.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, can I say the cuss word? Yeah. I mean, you're quoting that. It doesn't have the same weight to it if you're. We're not children. Like if you're going to use it and you're going to, you're swinging that sword.
Yeah, exactly. You're already in. Might as well go all the way.
Did you know I was listening to a podcast? I listened to Anthony Cumia's show, and you know what they're doing now? And he's making money off of it.
What's that?
When Papa John thing went down last week, the stock dropped 11%. So he invested.
Oh.
He bought future options.
Oh.
It went back up and then some the next day, sold the next day. Tesla, they got busted for calling one of the divers. He got busted for calling one of the divers a pedophile.
Oh, you know what? I heard about that.
Because he got mad about saying that he was using this, that he was building.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm happy you brought that up. Go ahead.
He bought options on that.
Yeah.
Sold them the next day and is making money on it. So they're making money. You can make money off of this outrage.
Yes.
This fake outrage that, do you really think Wall Street gives a shit about Papa John saying...
No. They're trying to find ways to get money off it. If they can blame somebody, say they said something.
Or to punish. They're punishing, you know.
So wait, that was Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm happy you brought that up because Elon Musk, to me, was a fool for what he was doing. We're talking about Thai Marine divers who's probably been training to do this.
Well, they're SEALs.
Yeah, they're SEALs, exactly. They've been training to do this like they whole time there. That's what they do. This dude was out for himself talking about sending what was it, like a 6-foot sub?
It looked like a dildo. Yeah. I mean, and if you think about it, you really want to get into you talking about people going to Thailand.
Yeah.
And they always talk about the lady boy
and
the child molestation. So here's the deal: you're going to send into a dark cave a dildo-looking thing to pick up little boys. Now, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, come on.
Damn. But on a serious note too, those guys have been trained to do that for so long. That's what they do. You're trying to get in there with slim bodies, not no big bulky submarine thing that can go down there and get trapped and cause even more problems.
You need it to bend and be a little bit
flexible. And that's what I'm saying. And then he got mad at the divers because they didn't want to use it. Or one guy was getting on him. He's saying, "No, we don't want to use that." The people actually kindly declined it. But he got mad, talking about he was out for himself, basically. Nobody wants to use your little submarine until it does further testing to go down and try to save lives.
I think the thing, though, we gotta watch it. We gotta be careful with him, though.
Why?
That dude did become like a fucking James Bond villain. Like, I mean, that's Tony Stark, dude. I mean, you think about it, he's got all the money, he's got the inventions, he's got that. That dude's Tony Stark, man. Like, we gotta watch out. He can flip.
Man, Thanos, baby.
He can flip. So watch out. This dude throwing cars into space and robots and shit, and you gotta watch out, man.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. Why put the car up there?
Oh, that's all total publicity. I know that my the solar company I have looks like they got bought out by Tesla because now my solar bill says Tesla on it. So I'm in.
Yeah.
All right. With that, let's take a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Oh yeah.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone Mortgage.
has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license is not going to suspension. That's something here at Bramer Law we do for you.
Welcome back, everybody. I don't know if y'all noticed or seen it, but there's a new trailer that just came out for the live-action TV show of Teen Titans. Now, growing up as a kid, I love Teen Titans. It was my show. But I guess now, since Cyborg got promoted to the Justice League, they needed to add some diversity to the cast of this new Teen Titans.
Tell me Zan and Jaina. Please. The Wonder Twins, man.
No.
I need Damon Gleep. That's what I need. I need the monkey, and I need somebody to switch into a pitcher of water. That's all I want is a bird and a pitcher of water.
In the form of water.
That's all I've ever wanted. I've wanted to see, I'm like, you guys have tried some risks. You put these fuckers in this show. Like, I want to see the Wonder Twins more than anything.
That's money. You know what? That's actually money.
Dude,
Think about it. Can you imagine a comedy if they put the Wonder Twins in there in different scenarios? That's just money just waiting to happen. But DC, they don't think like that because it's DC. Sorry, y'all DC fans. But anyway, I'm about to roast DC some more right now. Okay. What I'm getting at is Starfire. I know Starfire's orange, whatever. Okay, cool. But the lady that playing her right now, she's a great actor. I have nothing against her. She just doesn't fit Starfire. Just my personal opinion. It might be great, I don't know. But from what I see from that trailer, I was thoroughly dissatisfied. And not just that, I'm also a big fan of Robin. Well, the first Robin, Dick Grayson, who's Nightwing. But that was not Dick Grayson in that trailer, even though it was supposed to be. It was more Jason Todd. He literally said, "Fuck Batman," in the trailer. Why would he do that?
What network is this for?
I'm not sure, but it's coming out soon, and I'm like, this is not, Robin. This is at all, and it just pissed me off. And then the Raven was all soft and weak. Like, I don't know. Raven's personality, she's quiet and strong. She's not quiet and weak. And they was making her all need Robin. I need to find Robin. I need help from Robin. And like, I don't know. I didn't like it. But the biggest issue for me was the diversity issue. How the way the movies are set up now, they feel like they just have insert black person here in almost every movie now to try to. Because I don't know, we're like in a sensitive area, like we were just talking about, where we
always talk about like it's like a Sunny Delight commercial.
Yes.
Have you ever seen every Sunny Delight commercial? It's like, we're going to the white kid's house this time. And here's the Asian kid reaching in their refrigerator, the black kid sitting at the table, and the white. And it's so obvious.
It's like some Fruit Loops or something.
Just bang you over the head with
it. In some cases, it's not necessary. I understand you want to diversify things. That's cool.
Spider-Man Homecoming movie.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I have the trailer ready for you.
Okay, people, we're going to show you the trailer for the Teen Titans live action TV show. Just watch and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Hello?
Who are you?
Everything led me here. To you. You're the boy from the circus.
You got no place to hide. And I'm feeling like a villain, got a hunger inside. Nowhere to hide from all of this.
Please, can you help me?
Madness, madness.
evil inside of me.
You're scared. I get it. But you can control it. You don't know what I've become.
Sometimes, when I feel the darkness, it feels good. My mom says there's no such thing as monsters.
I used to think that. I was wrong.
Madness, madness.
There might be something they're streaming themselves.
Okay. All right. Did y'all see that? I'm sure y'all seen some of the problems I've seen. Some of you might have enjoyed it. I don't know. It's your opinion. My opinion is I hated it. Okay. I thought it was okay, but after watching it again, now I hate it. Okay. Another problem I just noticed right now, they gave Raven almost like she had like super speed. If you know Raven, she does not use super speed. She uses magic. I guess she can use her magic in the form of super speed, but that's not Raven. So, I don't know. It's just plenty of problems. But like we're saying, the biggest issue is going to be the diversity thing. That's the one thing that everybody's complaining about with the Teen Titans live action is Starfire being black. Which would be cool if she at least somewhat looked like Starfire. She doesn't look close to Starfire at all. Her facial features is just no. It doesn't work. I know it's cool. You want to be diverse. You want to diversify stuff, but sometimes it's just leave it the way it is. That's my point on the thing, Doug.
I'm just asking for stuff to be done as it's written.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's cool. Like Deadshot and Suicide Squad, I was okay with. Because Deadshot is in his costume the whole time, so you don't really, you're not really going to care. That's one character where it can work, or like even Nick Fury works because it's not like a big time person or whatever, so you can flip that real easy. But for some reason, Starfire, even though she's an alien or whatever, it just doesn't work, and I don't see it.
I still don't understand how the human whatever Fantastic Four, how they switched him.
Yeah, and that was supposed to be a sister or whatever. See, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Sometimes when you go out of your way to diversify something, you can end up ruining the storyline. But both Fantastic Four Human Torches have redeemed themselves. Michael B. Jordan was Killmonger in Black Panther. He redeemed himself. And obviously the other Human Torch is
Chris
now
Evans.
Captain America. He's redeemed himself.
So
they've been redeemed. Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this really quick. Do you think that diversity has become the new it word in Hollywood?
Yeah.
It's got to be diverse.
It has to. You have to spread the table.
Well, you know what it is it's to sell a toy, or it's to to bring in every section that we can play off this character, and that's what they'll start doing. Is I mean like how in the Star Wars movie they market like they'll take 3 or 4 characters and they'll market
Yeah, but here's my thing. Just if you're gonna get all these characters, look what they did with Iron Man. Iron Man was not a very popular character. Everybody knew who Captain America was, but the first Marvel movie that really came out that did it was Iron Man. So in a way, he almost became the leader now. Everybody knows who Iron Man is. Black Panther wasn't really that big of a character. They brought him out. Now people love Black Panther. When I was to wear my Black Panther costume, they were calling me Batman. So that's just the level of people not knowing. So there's so many black characters and even Latino characters that they can go find, even Asians, like you said, the Wonder Twins, that they can go find and make awesome, that they're just not doing. Instead, let's just turn random character X black. Let's turn random character X Mexican.
It's established brand. We were talking about this on the way here. What doesn't make money in Hollywood right now? A new idea.
True.
So they're going to take an established brand that you know of, and they're going to, what was it, when they did Cedric the Entertainer and they made the Black Honeymooners movie,
True.
all these other movies, like they're going to take an established brand and switch it instead of having the guts to write something new. To invest money on something new.
But you should take that shot because Black Panther was an experiment. I tell you, that was an experiment, and it worked. They should do the same thing with Blue Beetle right now. If you don't know who Blue Beetle is, he's a Mexican. He's like Latino. It's like, and he has like this beetle thing, and it's like a parasite that attaches to him, but it gives him powers. And I think he would be an awesome concept, but they just won't roll with it. Take a shot. I mean, Hollywood, they got money.
You know what? I've about enough with Ant-Man and his little
all these extra people.
side characters. Can we stick in
But Ant-Man was good.
Beetle Bailey or whatever the hell you said he
Blue
was.
Beetle.
Well, you know they're coming out with an animated version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
With
Miles
the kid.
Morales.
Miles Morales.
Yeah.
It looks interesting.
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that.
I don't know. I'm about superheroed out to
Well, that's the next phase that's going to fizzle out. Remember, we had our zombies, and then we had our werewolf vampire phase, and that died out. And now we're on heroes.
You saw Rampage, right?
Yes.
I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. Except for when they showed the monsters. You don't want to see the monsters.
Why?
Because they're not good. But what's his name? Speaking of zombies made me think of it. Dude from The Walking Dead. He played Negan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what? He's in there?
Was he the guy that played the Tommy Lee Jones type character from...
the Cowboy.
The Cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That was such a cliched character.
But, I mean, that's Negan in The Walking Dead. Other than the fact that he didn't go, hey, Rick, check out the size of my dick. Yeah. Every episode, everything is him measuring up to Rick's dick. Everything in that show is always a dick joke. But, I mean, I didn't hate it as much. And I was telling my wife, I was like, well, you know, it's kind of cool. We're watching, we're about halfway through. And it's kind of cool if they show the monsters. And they started showing the monsters. And I'm like, you know what? Don't show the monsters. Like,
how bad did they look? Was it at least better than the original Jurassic Park? Because the original Jurassic Park still holds up to this day as far as animation. If they couldn't even at least get that level.
No.
Are you serious?
When you're watching an alligator that has extra horns climb up the side of a building.
Yeah, that was hard to believe.
For real?
Yep.
I mean, you think they'll do a good job.
You know what, though, me and my wife were talking about, is there's a scene in that movie, spoiler alert, which I'm really sure you're going to spoil.
Yeah.
But it's been 17 years since 2000, since 9/11.
Yeah.
It's still weird to see that when they knocked the Sears Tower over in that movie. And,
it still makes you feel a little bit weird.
And now that you know what it looks like, and it looked kind of similar to the way it looked with the dust flow, and even after it had already fallen, you see like the girder sticking up from the ground and everything like that. You're like, oh, that was a little, you're kind of going all out there for a stupid monster movie here, you know. And it was just kind of weird, and I mean it's crazy that it's been 17 years, but you're still just kind of like, ooh.
Oh yeah, it's still. Like I said, I can remember exactly everything I was doing.
But you know what? I think that makes us softer. You know why? Because I'm looking at this movie, and we're just a bunch of pussies now. I'm looking at this movie, and I'm like, ooh, 17 years later. It's 17 years after World War II, Hogan's Heroes was on.
True.
They're doing shtick. Not just a movie falling in a dumb monster movie, but they're doing concentration camp shtick. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting there watching Rampage going, I don't know.
Yeah.
Bunch of sissies we are nowadays, I guess.
That's the times we live in, man.
I don't know, when you do a movie based on a 1980s arcade game.
Yeah.
You're not asking much.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, back then, that game never had an ending, right? It just goes on forever. That's why I got bored with it fast. That's why I thought the movie was going to bomb, and kind of did, right?
All you did is press up and hit the button.
You just smash buildings, and after about 30 minutes, you'll get bored.
Jump off, and then there's cop cars on the ground, punch them.
Yeah, it's pretty lame, actually.
Yeah, but the fact is that movie was. It seemed like they used a lot of the animation from Kong, from the last Kong movie, like poses where the ape stood, like.
For real?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they got a lot of the ideas from Kong for the.
I mean, there's even a part where he picks up something and swings it, and it looked just like. Of course, if they're actually doing like 8 movements, capturing 8 movements too, I guess
It will make sense. Right.
But you know what movie people have been freaking out over that I wasn't a big fan of?
What's that?
A Quiet Place.
Oh yeah. Well, everybody's saying it's like the best, like horror type film or whatever, like ever or whatever. So people are flipping.
Live by the Waterfall. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Just Live by the Waterfall. I actually really liked it. I thought it was inventive.
Mm-hmm.
For low budget, but everybody hyped me up and got me all, you know.
So you thought it was gonna be like some over the top, awesome.
Well, see, that's what happens when you get a movie that it gets overhyped.
Yeah.
I mean, I went and saw Hereditary. That the trailers made it look like fantastic, and I went and sat there and I was bored to death.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is, I don't know why everybody's all screaming about
There
this
was
movie.
a scene in A Quiet Place that got me, though.
Oh, what part was that?
That not scared, but just like, oh, shit. Because these things, if they hear you, they kill you.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah.
Like, there's a scene where she's walking down the stairs and there's a nail sticking up from the stairs, underneath the stairs.
She stepped on it?
And you see it coming. Like, you know she's getting it. And you just wait for that foot just to go down, and it just goes, and you're like, oh. Because when I was a kid, for some reason, we were building a treehouse, and I was barefooted, and I stepped on a board and had nail go through 3 of my toes.
That's the worst, dude.
3 of my, and that where they took me to the hospital, and the board was still connected to my foot, and they had to pull it out. And so,
have you seen the movie?
No.
Because there's something even that makes it even weirder and crazier, and that she's pregnant and her water breaks.
For real?
So she's going downstairs and steps on the nail.
Yeah.
It just
all kinds of cringeworthy.
Now, you know, here's another thing too. That movie though, like, was pretty close to after the event happened. It was only like 80 days after, like, so okay, that makes sense why she would be pregnant having a baby. But like The Walking Dead, I understand you want to have sex and you want to get it in. There's zombies going on.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. But how about if we have these creatures that are attracted to noise that are going to bring them?
Yeah.
I don't think we're procreating right now.
No, because once your baby cries, it's game over.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Done.
Yeah, that thing is uncontrollable.
Rap. Yeah.
The thing's uncontrollable. That's what I was wondering in A Quiet Place. I'm like, well, what if they snore? You know, like, how deep do you want to go into this shit? You know, like, well, what if they snore? Well, you know, a fart, you're dead, you know?
Done. Yeah. That's funny, dude. Now I want to watch it.
And it's funny because I talked about it last week on my show that it's one of these movies where you have to be completely quiet to watch it. And we're sitting in my living room trying to watch this movie, and just my kid says something, I go, "You're dead."
Right. Well, see, that's what I heard. That was the experience. Like, supposedly, the part of the really experience was to sit, especially like the first week when it came out, you're in a theater full of people.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely silent.
That's awesome.
And it starts playing on you like,
awesome.
Somebody's rattling popcorn. You're dead, you know.
Yeah.
The guy who's fingering the M&M box wanted it. Son of a bitch. I wish somebody would have come out and got him. I want to go see Skyscraper, though. I still haven't gone.
Yeah,
I have seen Skyscraper. It's very good.
I want to see Equalizer 2. John McCall is my dude, man. I want to see McCall versus John Wick. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I want to see
Denzel.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Huh?
Celebrity Deathmatch.
I want to see that.
Denzel, to me, is...
Yeah, I love him in that movie.
Because he's got emotion. He's stone-faced or he's I'm going to cry face.
Well, he's stone-faced in that movie. He's a killer.
No, but he'll get that. He'll get mad. It always reminds me of, you know, his face, and I always put it this way. You remember Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
After they kill, and Cuba Gooding Jr.'s talking to his dad, and that fool starts like crying and throwing punches in the air and everything. That's what Denzel's cry face envisions to me. Every time I see it when he's mad or whatever, I see that in my head, and it makes me laugh, and it takes me out of whatever is going on at the point.
True. But yeah, I can't wait for Equalizer 2, man. Just because I like the whole concept of him, like, he sets his little timer. Like, okay, I got this much time. Boom, boom, boom. Sees everything.
I mean, the first one was better than it was supposed to be. They surprised that one. Like, they pulled that one out. And I think that's why they like Death Wish, too. Why they made that last Bruce Willis, the Death Wish movie. Pretty much off of that, but they used an established name brand. Which, that movie was... I didn't hate it, but the fact was you knew his wife was going to die and his daughter was going to get hurt. Really they spent the first 30 minutes of that movie with him and his wife and daughter, which was pointless because you knew what was going to happen. True. So let's get to
it. Yeah. Who is that? He's the actor where you know something's going to happen to. It's another actor where it's like Steven Seagal. If he has a wife and a kid, they're going to die. Like all of his movies, dude.
I'm sure someone lived in above the law. Sure, someone made it through above the law, but yeah.
Well,
let's take another break. We'll be back in a minute.
Introducing the new California State Penitentiary Bologna Sandwich. Jail food sucks. Don't let your family eat jail food.
Your home is perfect. Until it's not. We understand that life has its changes. As your family grows, we're here to help grow with you. Because taking care of your family is important to you and important to us. Your story starts here with Cornerstone Mortgage.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license is not going to suspension. That's something here at Bramer Law we do for you.
Well, I guess we'll get into it. I've been trying to stay away from it, but this Trump, Russia, Putin shit.
Of course, here we go.
Now, I'll say it right now. I voted for Trump, and I was in on this Trump train shit early because I thought it'd be funny.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, ask him.
He's legit. He's serious. Before it even happened, Randy already predicted the shit show that was going to go down. He knew people were going to be flipping out and stuff. Randy was like, I want to vote for him because
I want to see chaos. I just want to I want to see the fire burn.
Yeah.
So I was in on it, and because I said if anything, what's going to happen is going to show that it's all bullshit. That everything going on is like all bullshit, and that maybe this is throwing the monkey wrench in to break the works, to just break the gears of the system and all that. And I guess it's working to a degree. Now, what everybody's got to realize is that, like, the liberals and Democrats are having fun right now because they're not in power. Okay, well, this age of civility and being nice to a president or whatever, it's gone. Like, we're never, like, whoever's in there is just going to get
roasted, toasted.
Yeah, and do you think that they're ever going to get a break anymore? Like, that's gone. Like from day one, it's over. I mean,
I think the last president was Clinton, where he was really just kind of just safe from, even with the whole scandals he had going on. He was the last one, because once Bush got, that's when we started getting on him a little bit, and then it got worse with Obama. And now Trump, that's just like a free.
Well, I mean, it goes with the media. You know? I mean, I would say a lot of that goes with 24-hour networks, and you got to have programming on TV. Now, so Putin hands him that. They have their meeting, and Putin hands him that soccer ball. I hope somebody was smart enough to check that goddamn soccer ball. Because that fucker's probably bugged, has a tracking device on it.
Never know,
Who knows what? I mean, they're probably like, wow, this is the heaviest soccer ball ever. Yeah, it's got a detonator in it and, tracking device and bugs. But the funny thing I find about all this, though, too, is then you have, like, Trump comes out and says, he doesn't trust CIA and the FBI and all that. Which basically he's saying that he doesn't trust the people who have been trying to bust him for the last 2 years.
True.
And if he did, then he would be saying that, okay, well, they got something right here. You don't give your prosecution that power over you.
Of course not. That's
it
why
doesn't look. And do you really? I mean, honestly, do you think, like, if he knew for sure that they were meddling, is the word, in the election, that standing across from me to you to Putin, and he's going to look at him and be like, you're a piece of shit, and I know you're fucking our shit, and
Of course not. But see, that's the thing.
And, okay, so if he knows and they know. What are we supposed to do? Wouldn't it be his duty then to declare war on Russia? I mean,
yeah, but that's not about to happen.
Where does it go from there?
Yeah, because now you're in a position and you're forced to have to do something. You can't just sit there and turn a blind eye, which is
not to mention you don't think that our government hasn't meddled in every election in the last 200 years?
Of course.
I mean,
we basically run the world a little bit. Us and Japan and the other countries, we're at the top. And, of course, we're going to have our noses deep down everybody else's throat, just like we have our military.
We've been policing the world, you know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We got a hand in everybody's stuff.
Government building. And then the other thing that I found really funny out of all this is all of a sudden everybody trusts the government. All these people I knew that were 9/11 truthers and that you know, oh, well, the ATF killed all those people in Waco, and you know, all of a sudden, all these people are locked in step with the federal government's findings.
That's because for now it's benefiting their views.
Yeah, it's what they want to hear.
It's what they want to hear.
I mean, I think
it's
honestly,
like giving a kid candy.
If they have the smoking gun,
yeah,
why isn't it out there yet? Why haven't they go? Here it is. Because you know what? I think, and this is not even me picking a side. I think they're all. They have to expose themselves to take their shot. For them to take a shot, they're going to be way exposed. They have to come out of cover. And everybody, all of them are too deep into, everybody's got their hand out. Everybody's, you know, everybody's got a case of basically political AIDS where everybody's going to get psych. I mean, that's over. You know, they're all infected.
Yeah.
And there's no, I mean, this is the outcome that I wanted.
Yeah.
To show that it's,
no matter who it is.
Yeah, they're all crooked. I mean, if you think about it, think of the hundreds of millions of dollars that it takes to win that office. So you're spending all that money, all that effort, and you look at the way these guys come out of office 4 years, 8 years later. They look like they've aged 30 years.
Exactly, stressed
So you're taking all that time off of your life, all that money spent to get a job that pays about $500,000.
No, they're going in there to get something else deeper.
You're either really getting good, deep benefits, or your ego is, you know, the size of, you know, which I guess in this one it's probably both.
It's both. It's both for Trump.
Right, but I mean, it just mathematically it doesn't make sense.
No.
And you got to wonder why these people are crooked or whatever, because there shouldn't be career politicians. Like, it wasn't designed to be that way. You were a representative coming from your group, and you went back, and then you went back. You were of the people, by the people, you know.
True.
You went back.
True. Yes.
I mean, I watched that Chappaquiddick movie the other day, the Teddy Kennedy movie, and you kind of felt bad for that dude, like, to a degree. I mean, he's a piece of shit, don't get me wrong. Like, he let that broad die in the car. Don't get me wrong. But he had all this hope on him because the oldest Kennedy brother was the one that was supposed to be the man. Okay, well, he died in World War II. And then Jack, you know, he had a bad headache in about November of 1963 that we all found out about.
Damn.
And then, you know, Ted was kind of on his way, and then he decided to, you know, not make that turn right. He got boozed up. I didn't realize that it happened when we had first landed on the moon. It was going at the same time.
Sure.
Because like, I think when we walked, but like they were watching the Apollo mission, like when he left that party with that chick. And
oh wow,
it's a real weird little turn too that like he had to make. It was a sharp little turn, man. Like, and
oh shoot.
And then they showed like in that movie that they thought that she was alive when he got out. Like he got out somehow. He got thrown from the car or whatever. But in that movie, they show that there's a pocket of air in there that he lived. And I mean, his dad, I mean, Joe Kennedy, was that his name? I think so. That guy is a bootlegger. I mean, that guy is the biggest crook. Their whole family fortune was built on so much.
But that's old money. That's how it is, man.
Yeah.
That's old money. A lot of old money is like that. Where got they started doing crooked stuff. Yeah.
So I mean, and they were just like Ted was just like supposed to be the next one. Like kind of like, you know, like how you had the Bushes and you had Jeb. That, you know, that guy feels like a dipshit that Trump beat him. What was funny is when Trump told him to, like, all right, you just go get at the end of the stage, stupid, beat it. You know, I mean, but I just think that it doesn't make sense, and I mean, they've always said, what is it, like, the tree of liberty is supposed to be, fertilized by the blood of patriots every now and then. Like, we're not down. We don't have a stomach for a revolution. It's not going to happen unless there's some kind of power outage, some food.
Unless it can happen behind our computer monitors and on our cell phones.
Right.
That's
now,
the
if we
only
can do
way.
this like Player One style, where we're doing like video games, like we can play it on the Call of Duty.
I've seen this video where it was an electric gate and it was opening and it was two dogs on either side and were barking at each other, barking at each other, barking at each other, barking at each other, and the gate fully opened, and then both the dogs just walked away because none of them really wanted that smoke. And that's the way a lot of Americans are today. We get really tough behind our computer monitors and all this stuff, but you ain't really about it. We just talking trash. So that's what I think Randy's saying right now. But back to what you were saying, I just wanted to make that point.
No, it comes down to, you look at we don't have the stomach, we don't have the stomach for it anymore. We just don't. It's, for one, we don't have the attention span for it.
No.
You look at the conflicts we are in now and everything, people were done with that as soon as Bush said that the war was over, basically, and they drug down the Saddam Hussein statue, it was like, all right, and they did which they botched that by doing the victory at sea with Bush landing on the carrier.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had people over there for 15 years since then now.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't. We fight these wars overseas, and I think we talked about this on here, that we at home, if we have troops over there and we're fighting, they need to bring it back to almost like a rationing type.
Oh, yeah. Make us feel some of that pressure.
Yeah, make it not as comfortable. Hell, I said something as stupid as you turn off PlayStation Network.
Oh,
it only works for 4 hours a day, from 10 in the morning until 2 p.m. And that's it. Because all these people play all night, all that, it doesn't work anything. Because Wrigley Field was the last baseball stadium to get lights, but they were supposed to be the first because the steel went to World War II.
Yeah.
Effort. We need to suffer.
Yeah. Feel some of that heat because, like I said before, I think I said on here too, where even you go to Yahoo and we'll be in the middle of a war. Kim Kardashian's damn shoes will be on the front page, and down here in this little tiny corner of small text, 14 U.S. American soldiers done got killed, so-and-so, such and such somewhere, and nobody cares. No story about them, just that little tiny piece, and that's all you get. But Kim Kardashian's shoes is the head news, but we got troops out here defending this country dying. That pisses me off when I see that. I don't know why. It just drives me insane.
I was watching a documentary the other night, just out of the blue. Did you ever hear about the Russian dogs in World War II?
What are they, badasses?
Have you heard about them? They had these anti-tank dogs in World War II.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no. I didn't
hear about that.
I've seen the police ones that jump over the police car, that jump over the cars to attack people.
Well, what they would do is the Russians would take these, they'd take German tanks that they had they had defeated, they had captured or whatever.
Yeah.
And they would take these dogs. The Russians would. They'd take these dogs and they'd starve them. Ooh. They'd make them really hungry. And what they would do is they would put food underneath the German tanks that they had captured. So the dog realized that when they saw that tank, there was food underneath there.
Yeah.
So, they'd train the dogs. Well, then they'd let the dogs out. When they knew an area where the German tanks were, they'd let the dogs out. They had a mine with a piece of wood or something strapped to them. So when it went under the tank, it would click this switch, blow the dog up, and blow the mine up, and take the tank out.
That's jacked up. That is jacked up. Not surprised, but jacked up at the same time. Because I'm a big time animal.
Yeah, I was watching. Well, you seen that one lately here in town? That pit that they found, like in Delano or somewhere like that. That one that was starving and.
Oh yeah, no, that pissed me off, man. I've seen that. Yeah, I don't like that at all.
No, I've got a rescue dog. I've got a rescue pit. And it's brutal. I wanted to say something too before we left. If anybody wants to, my wife, her company, they're doing a donation for the Gleaners for.
Okay.
Not for the air conditioning unit, but for it's like a food drive type thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, if anybody wants to get at me, you can leave a message with the Kerncast site and get in touch with me, or you could drop off anything at food or money at Berry Petroleum, care of Jennifer Stevens.
Cool.
I told her I'd do it. So yeah, you guys can either hit me up there or you guys can drop off stuff there. They want, it's the basic stuff. Canned food, bottled water, all the non-perishable stuff.
Yeah, they've been hit pretty hard this summer they someone break into their place and they took all the copper piping.
Did you read the story on that too? That like
man.
they ruined the air conditioning, which is tens of thousands of dollars, and basically they took $50 worth of shit, like the copper in it, and it's non-repairable. Like, which I'm really surprised that, like the way this town is, that hadn't been taken care of already. Like. True. That there wasn't some kind of drive, some kind of effort that like...
Yeah, we're usually pretty good with that stuff here, man.
Well, and you got to imagine they're taking it pretty hard, too, because I'm sorry, if you just look around, there is an explosion of homeless people around here lately.
Yeah.
Like, there are homeless people everywhere now. Like, and there's not a part in town. And you just drive around and you'll see these baskets, and you know they're homeless, like, baskets of the home, because there's blankets and there's trash and shit stuffed in them.
And just stuff just laying around.
Corners all over town. I mean, so it's exploded. And I mean, even we've talked about it on here, the open fields everywhere. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, they've been taking it, and it's hot, man. And speaking of which, the local weather.
But, yeah, they sold the copper piping. Gleaners paid and put new copper piping in, and I think within about days of that, people went back in and stole the copper piping that they just put in.
Oh, they got it again?
Yeah. That would piss me off, man. That would piss me off to know.
You know what I would do? You need you a couple Russian tank dogs. That shit.
And I know people who use the Gleaners for food to feed their families.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, why would you...
People don't care. They do not care. That's the age we live in. Like I've said before, without common courtesy, there won't be any common sense. You have to have common courtesy first before common sense starts to click in. Well, that's just what I believe.
There has to be that common courtesy for us. The way our society is built.
Yeah, it's done, dude. It's not there.
We share too much space and too many common areas. I mean, you just look at traffic. If everybody started going, we've agreed to live in a society in a way where, all right, that side goes now it's your turn. That's like if we all started we go, no, we're not paying attention to these lights. Nobody goes anywhere.
Nope.
Like, it's simple. It's as simple as that. There's certain things for us to live as deep as we do, as close together, that we have to agree on, like respecting your property borders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, my God, my wife watches that damn Discovery ID, and I swear to God, every one of those shows. Every one of those shows that some asshole puts a brick on the other side of somebody's property line, and before you know it, they're shining lights in each other's eyes. Wow. And then the next time, some asshole shoots the other one, and I've seen that story 1,500 times.
That's ridiculous, man.
She watches so much of that channel. God.
I love that channel, actually. I watch a lot of it.
Oh.
But I know what you're talking about.
It is, and it's every one of them. Like every one of those, my bad evil neighbor is the same shit. Some guy,
same story, every time.
Some guy decides to build a fence 3 feet over the ground.
Yeah,
you know,
that's not your line to make. Yeah, no way.
And then one of them pushes
cut off my property.
And then there's a fight, and it's some elderly fight usually. 2 old guys out there throwing blows.
Better else to do with their time because you know they're old and whatnot.
Well, that and you notice, like people that like. Old people do get they get kind of shut in and they get really concerned about their perimeter. And that's all. That's their slice of the world, and that's all that matters. And you know, it gets crazy, man. I hate those damn shows.
Dang, dude.
They drive me nuts because and you wake up in the middle of the night and she's left the TV on, and here I am.
Now you watching it.
Goddamn murder shit.
You ain't about to go look for the remote. You're not about to go look for the remote. You're just sitting there watching it. You ain't got nothing to do now.
And I'm like, either she's trying to get away with a murder, or I'm gonna leave a will, just a message, be like, hey man, if something happens to me weird, this bitch done watched, you know.
Hey, be real, Randy. You turned it on. You turned it on.
No, that ain't me. What? I'm telling you, I'm gonna leave something. If I die suspiciously that she watches.
There's this great device called a DVR where you can record whatever it is you want to watch. My kids have loaded ours up with all their cartoons and stuff.
Oh yeah. Hey, taking up all the space on there.
You know, I watched really quick. I watched the wrestling pay-per-view that you guys were talking about.
Oh, Extreme Rules?
No.
G1?
Yeah.
Oh.
And?
It was watchable.
Wait, what?
It was watchable.
What is it? What's it called?
G1 Special.
New Japan.
Oh, New Japan. Yeah,
New
of course.
Japan.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
They did the new. They did their G1
Was Jericho
Special.
there?
No, he wasn't there. I don't know why.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There was some stuff I fast forwarded through.
How about
It's
KO?
4.5 hours long.
Yeah,
It was 4.5 hours long. I mean, they had a 15-minute intermission where you just sit there and you fast forward
15-minute
intermission.
Oh.
But yeah, they replayed it the other day, so I recorded it after listening to your guys' show.
Cool.
I recorded it and I sat there and watched it, and like, yeah, I mean, I was interested. It was way better than anything that I've seen here recently. Just the in-the-ring action. I mean, I didn't really have any of the
characters, knowledge.
I didn't have
but
any
that
of
makes it better because you're going to see moves you probably ain't seen before. And especially because a lot of moves are bad in the WWE. I'm over here breaking stuff. A lot of moves are bad in the WWE that aren't...
Are you breaking my stuff over there?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get out of here.
Yeah, we're going to do right there with me breaking stuff.
Yeah,
But,
Lionel's tearing this shit up. We got to go.
Yeah.
All right, see you next week.